Hey everybody, I've recently been working on a map and I dropped some water polygons on it and I gave them water polygon blue and put the blue outline on it like we always do. And it was against a nice topographic background. I thought, this is really flat and we can do better than this. So I remembered an ESRI blog from years ago and I'm not sure who wrote it, but it was telling us how to add reflections to water from different directions. So I thought let's apply that. And also, there's a John Nelson video about adding some life to water as well, giving it ripples and beaches and shadows and all that sort of thing. So I thought, well, let's mash these techniques up together and see what happens. Before we go to the map, though, I want to recognize our Employee of the Month for September. This is Tom, and he likes nerding out on maps and golf once in a while. And for being such a great employee, we're going to send him to the Seaside Northwest GIS Users Conference here in a couple weeks. So if you're out there and you see him, grab him and say hi. He's a pretty nice guy and he likes to talk about maps a lot. So with that, have fun in Seaside, Tom, and let's go to the map. This is Carto-Madness. Okay, back in Clark County, Washington. So let's add some data from the Clark County GIS website. And let's add the high quality wetlands. And when we do, we can see it comes in, and this is all the wetlands in Clark County. And I've added a bookmark for a little study area so we can see what we're doing. And here it is. So let's make these polygons a little more watery. So let's make them gradient fills. And go from blue, like a dark blue. This is a pretty good one, Morea blue, I think, yeah. And put it up to here, lighter blue. And I think that's called soda light blue. Yeah. Whatever a soda light is, I don't know. And let's make that a linear pattern and go from left to right, right to left. And a continuous and absolute. Now we have a reflection on our water polygons. That looks pretty good. We could stop there, but why stop there? We got all these cool, fun tools. So let's dive in and let's change this solid stroke to a pure white and dial that back to like 75%. Also, let's go ahead and offset at -2 points. And we can see that, okay, that's what we want to do. And so let's go and let's copy that like twice. 2 copies of that. There we go. And for our next one, let's make that like a -4. And change that pattern to something randomish. It looks random anyway. 2 on, 4 off, 1 on, 5 off. And that's good. And at the line ends, we can change our pattern to a full pattern. Although that probably doesn't make a huge bit of difference since we have round corners and not square. So let's go to the next one and do the same thing. Let's go ahead and change this to a little bit even more transparent. Let's do 85 as it's approaching the center of our water polygon. Kind of disappears into nothing, right? Let's add our dash pattern, something different. So let's do 3 on, 5 off, 7 on, 6 off. And oops, we need to offset that. Let's do that -7. There we go. And of course, change our line in pattern just for fun and practice. And there we go. Now we've got some ripples heading towards the center of our water bodies, our lakes. Hard to see on the screen, but you know, it does add a subtle and distinct little difference. So let's copy this solid stroke and pull it down below our polygon. And this is the John Nelson part, so thanks for this, John Nelson. It's cool. So let's take this solid stroke and make it a dark blue. And let's see, let's change that width to 1.5. Yeah. And let's 0 offset that. And what we really need to do, see, we got a blue outline there. This looks pretty good, but we're going to do something really cool. And what that is, we have to add a move effect. And so we go back here and we'll go down here to our move effect, and we do a minus 0.5 and a 0.5 on the Y, and that'll give us like a kind of a shadowy feel to the northwest of our water polygons. That looks cool, but of course we're not done yet. So let's go ahead and copy that, and let's add a beach to the other side of our polygons. And so let's go something kind of a beachy color. I think that looks pretty good. And since it's on a lighter background, let's go ahead and make that a little wider so it's a little more visible, a little more obvious. Let's make that 3. And let's put that on the opposite corner of our polygon, so we're going to 0.5 there and minus 0.5 in the Y direction. And we can see we got kind of a cool beach. Got water on one side, got a blue outline on one side and a tan outline on the other side, so that's pretty good, huh? Yeah. Okay. We like it. Now we're going to save this to a style because we're going to need this later. And so we'll do reflections on water as our style. And there we go. Okay. So now let's add even more interestingness to this and open our attribute table for the water. And we need to add a new field. And we'll call this new field direction, dir for direction. And once we do that, we can make it a short and do our save. And now we've got another field that we can make some good use out of. Call it direction field. So we want random numbers in there from 1 to 4. And so we use our fun friend Arcade again. Don't be afraid of Arcade. It's fun and easy. So if you type R, we get a random. And if we just apply that random, we can see we get 0s and 1s. Well, we wanted 1 to 4. So what we need to do is go ahead and do a multiply sign, splat, and then do 4 is our starting number, and 1. So we'll apply that. And so what we get is everything from 0 to 3. Well, that's 4 numbers, but I wanted 1 to 4. So all we have to do is go ahead and add 1 to that, and if you apply. And now we have random numbers from 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's what we're looking for. So now we have that. We can close our table. And let's go over here to our symbology. And our symbology is going to be unique values. And let's use that as direction of our unique values. And now we have 1 to 4, and there are various pretty colors, but that's not what we're looking for. So let's go here and we can say format all symbols, go to our gallery, and voila, here's our reflections on water. And now we have all 4 have that same symbology. Great. Now let's make use of that direction field. So all we have to do is go ahead in here and back to our properties, and we will make our gradient, go up to our gradient fill, and we will make the direction, the angle, first one is 45. So that angle will be 45. So that's, there you go. So it's southwest to northeast. Cool. Okay, let's do the second one. Add 90 to 45, and we get 135. Cool. Southeast to northwest. Add 90 to that, and we're going to get 225. And that's northeast to southwest. And our next one Add 90 to that. And that's 335. And we go now northwest to southeast. So we have random-ish reflective directions on our water. Pretty cool. So that's a lot better. That kind of breathes a little life into the water, because our base map in this case has a lot of life in it too. So hopefully that will keep things interesting. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that jazz. See you next time. Thanks, everybody.